All right, how did Pretty White Ladies kill the left? Let's go.
Is just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge
The Sydney Sweeney ad is just another litmus test. Okay.
overt racism and how harmful it can be.
Trying to calm myself, but that would
Billie Eilish, are you okay, bitch? Why the would you say something like that? For one, you live in America where you are the majority. Everybody looks like you.
The longer that this goes on, the more that I lack the vocabulary to describe how much I hate it.
Okay, generic music, no.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome
Thank you.
back to hell. I don't think I've ever
Yeah,
worn
your
the
video
hell
intro
on
told
this
me your
channel
name is
before,
Sydney.
but
Holy shit, that was so
I'm sure
basic.
that if it's not my color, you guys will roast me in the comments because that's typically what you do. Also, my little cherub people, I will be going on tour in October. I will be going to a bunch of different cities around the United States doing live shows, and these shows are going to be a little bit more personal because I know on this channel I typically don't get super personal and get super deep into Sydney stuff, but during these live events I absolutely will because I want you guys to get to know me a little bit
Congratulations.
because I really like meeting you and running into you. It's fun. Yes, there will be all of the normal Sydney goofiness that you have come to know and expect, but these shows, like I said, will be much more personal.
Gotta love
much
the
more personalized.
parasocial
And hey, I might even
boundaries.
take pictures of when I had headgear.
Mhm.
This kind of headgear. I'm not kidding. There will be custom merch at these shows that are only available for the tour. There's obviously going to be tea.
Okay, so add
Sydney Sweeney video that would be that, and we could all you get
Okay.
20% off. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really Sweeney video that last
Okay.
Sydney Sweeney video that would be that, and we could.
Okay, sure, you did
move
one
on
before on
from
Sydney
this
Sweeney.
topic. But the online meltdown surrounding her has continued to get worse. So here we are. And as usual, during my travels of the internet, I came to realize that this current progressive doom spiral, so to speak, with relation to Sydney Sweeney, is not exclusive to her. Are you surprised? No, you're not. So I thought, let's take a detour from my planned video this week to talk about this because these people are losing their minds over attractive white girls doing their thing all over the place, like dancing or just generally
Also,
enjoying
for the
their
record,
lives.
Sydney
And
Watson is a
personally,
conservative
I always find
commentator,
the negative
so expect a bunch of pretending people are upset that Sweeney is hot.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
no.
I'm getting so far.
I am kind of
'cause
getting the vibe. All right, well,
progressives aren't the ones freaking out over these college girls.
I've never even seen this shit.
reactions to innocuous comments and behavior so interesting and telling. As most of you know, I really think that anti-white rhetoric has gotten very out of hand. It's absolutely culturally acceptable to be racist towards white people. But now it's to the point where we are seeing
Well, if
white
it
women
wasn't
doing
obvious
anything
before.
together or making comments about their appearances. It sends some progressives into a full-blown meltdown. So,
Okay.
as most of you probably have noticed by
I'm waiting
now,
for my
we are
meltdown.
kind of
Let's go.
seeing a bit of a resurgence of the 90s aesthetic in advertising and in entertainment, and especially in clothing. And as a result, more and more cute white girls are showing up in media and in advertising, where in days gone by, over the last number of years, we have seen a lot of diversity and representation. I hope you're all currently visualizing Tess Holiday just running across the stage.
Because cute
This
white
was
girls definitely
advertising
weren't
for, like,
there before.
Right?
I was gonna say, I'm like, there's always kind of been cute white girls, like all the time.
I think we've kind of been at an all-time high in terms of representation, honestly.
White people in media. New thing. Just started.
Okay.
The last decade. Anyway, so it isn't terribly surprising to learn that Sydney Sweeney, who is currently a popular actress, has partnered with a bunch of brands. As such, and
She's
as
not
most of you
popular
probably
for
know,
her
she
acting,
went
though.
mega viral in the last month or so when she appeared in a jeans commercial for American Eagle, where she
Fun fact, they call this a Canadian tuxedo.
referenced her genetics, using a play on words to refer to both denim jeans and human jeans. Each ad finished with the line, "Sydney Sweeney has great genes," which was a reference to her appearance, just by the way. The reaction to this was swift and psychotic. It was very psychotic.
Was it TikTok again? God damn it, it's always TikTok.
This looks like TikTok.
It's always fucking TikTok. POV, Sydney Sweeney is advertising eugenics to you. She thinks it's hot.
She's not, though. That's not...
No,
was
she's
American Eagle.
advertising jeans.
It's American Eagle, guys!
She's advertising jeans.
With women
Nah,
over
it was
on TikTok.
completely rational, and then conservatives intentionally took it out of context like they always do.
No.
Like, I think it was intentionally a double-edged axe. Like,
I think American Eagle knew
They-
exactly what they were doing, and they knew
Yep.
that it was gonna piss people off. And when you piss
Mhm.
people off, it's free advertising.
Yep. Although in this case, it did actually backfire on their sales.
Did it?
Yep.
Mm.
Yes, and it's not the first time American Eagle did the double entendre about jeans.
Mm.
If I'm not mistaken, they did see a huge negative backlash sales-wise because
Oh.
of it.
Because all publicity is good, right, guys? Right? Okay.
Not when you
I
have
don't
a
even
good
know who that is,
competitor.
Sydney Sweeney sims for the alt-Reich. Oh my god.
A Nazi dog whistle. It's an ad for eugenics, which is that is crazy pants. That's a crazy statement. Of course, then we had the
Calls digital kerfuffle with her good jeans ad. It's not actually not crybaby liberals who are hopelessly obsessing over Sydney Sweeney's jeans, body, and politics as Republicans and Fox News.
onslaught of articles
Yeah.
and left-wing commentators insisting that this meltdown wasn't happening.
I've seen 5,000 social media posts from right-wingers saying the left is outraged about Sydney Sweeney's ad campaign, compared with about 5 people on the
No,
left
that's
who I'd
what it
never
was
heard of.
doing. It was
Yeah.
just a dog whistle, where the whole point of a dog whistle is so it sounds absurd if you call it out.
Mm-hmm.
We never heard of Express, some criticism of it. 99% of the left don't give a shit, but your manufactured outrage.
You know these people have never been on
Yeah.
a young person app a day in their lives. Because how is this your takeaway? But as this issue has picked up speed,
'Cause
people
it's what
decided it was
happened, honey.
necessary to dig up Sydney Sweeney's alleged voter registration that apparently shows that she is a registered Republican. This is a lot of S noises and I am struggling.
Like
Then
tell people
videos
that the
surfaced of
4chan
her
mascot's sweater is a rape joke, which it is.
Yeah. People won't understand. It's usually it's more so the ones that are upset that unfortunately will be used as an example to throw a blanket term over the majority are the terminally online. So
Terminally
they
online
see
young people. They're the
Mhm.
stereotypic visual of queerness or whatever. They
yeah,
got the dyed hair.
the nose ring.
Yeah.
I feel bad for any reasonable, sensible person that might be out there that wears a nose ring because you will never be taken seriously ever again. Ever since people on the other side of the spectrum have been like nose ring,
Yeah.
look at the nose ring, and it like that's supposed to make a point. Like the reason they're like this is because of the nose ring.
Yeah, realistically, most progressives who were calling the ad out were like, hey, that's kind of sus. They weren't like drilling into her herself. It was more like, hey, we should be
Political
worried that
commentary
companies are
is also all
comfortable.
about grifting off intentionally misinterpreting progressives.
Yeah.
Mm.
It
But-
was a lot of people being like, we should be concerned that companies are feeling comfortable pulling this shit was most of what progressives were saying.
at a gun range, as you do in the United States. And videos of her working on cars have also started circulating. And
How to
this,
check
of
your
course,
oil.
just resulted in even more unhinged behavior from our friends over on Progressive Island.
Sydney Sweeney ad is just another litmus test.
Holy shit!
Oh,
Oh.
the girl's poor
We saw her
hair.
earlier in the
Girl!
video.
I know, it just took me a second. Girl, do you rent that space out?
Squeaky, no!
Okay. Why would you
That's
say
too
something
mean.
so offensive yet so brave?
I'm sorry, it's really big.
What?
Girl.
I'm sorry. Okay, no, actually no, Jester, come here. Come here. Come here. It can't be just me.
Being comfortable having a white girl talk about having great genes in the middle of mass deportations and concentration camps against non-whites.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm already well aware that I am not the best person ever in the world, but holy moly. I was hoping
You
that
know
was
we're all thinking it.
Yeah, you're all thinking it. Shut the fuck up.
I want to reach my reactives hand up over
Land a
to your
plane on
VTuber and like brush your bangs back to see how
my
far they
God.
go.
That's that thing of again, sometimes we should consider bangs. Like the reason I wish I had bangs because I have a tiny ass forehead. I got a 3 head. She got some to spare.
Oh.
Oh, I timed that horribly. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Murdoch. She could definitely use some bangs. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. You all thought it. I said it. Moving on.
That is the difference.
Friends over on Progressive Island.
I was mostly gonna say, I didn't even know, were people mad about her changing oil?
No.
I didn't think so.
It's
No.
another instance of conservatives being like, ha, see, she's one of us, because liberals would never work on their car. Ever. Their hands are too soft.
Fucking. I usually have a button for this, but I want to stay this side.
Forget that most repairmen are liberal.
Yeah?
That's a landing strip, good God. Okay, thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Chat got me.
Grant.
Chat's got me.
No.
We don't know her. We don't know her. We can say at least one. We can get one in.
Hey, Sweeney,
We're all
that
shitty people here.
is
Anyhow.
just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge
That has to be a filter.
overt
does?
racism. And
I hope
how
it's a
harmful
filter.
it
I'm so sorry. What did she even say? I'm sorry. I was too distracted.
Over on Progressive Island.
Hey, Sweeney,
She said a bunch of
ad is just
nothing.
another litmus test to see
It's
if
honestly
people-
insane how someone can be bald and have a full head of hair at the same time.
That's that. You know how like people take like Amelie's Dakimakura and they play tic tac toe on her head? I'm not gonna do that to this person. It just made me think of that.
That's so mean.
I'm not. It's such a widow's peak that Guillermo del Toro gonna write a horror movie and it's gonna get a damn Oscar. What? I think Bezos wants his forehead. Okay, we're done.
actually
We're-
recognize and
Stop being
acknowledge.
mean.
Okay, I'm gonna actually listen to what she says. I'm sorry, I had to get it out there. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Sweeney, ad is just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be.
She didn't lie.
Hmm. One more time.
And more unhinged behavior from our friends over on Progressive Island.
Hey,
Okay,
Sweeney,
but no,
ad
she's
is-
probably fine. But she's definitely only being showcased in this video because this neo-Nazi thinks she's ugly and mad that Sweeney is hot.
just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be.
Okay. Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Trying to calm myself, but that would Sydney Sweeney has good gene. Really, like the eugenics in that, it's dripping with it, and I'm like, no.
When you saw it, what did you think of?
I mean,
Since this video is only being utilized to make progressives sound insane. This is supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so I think we've all heard the term used at least once or twice when it comes to like pretty people, where it's just like they've won the gene pool lottery and stuff. And you know, sometimes
Yeah,
just some people
totally.
do. Sometimes you win the gene pool lottery, you're pretty, and your life is easier because of it. We're not gonna act like pretty privilege don't exist, but at the same time, it's a lot easier to make talent beautiful or it's a lot easier to make talent pretty than give pretty people talent. So when you've got both in one package, that's something to, talk about.
Mhm.
But again, if the commercial is Sydney Sweeney has great genes, one, because American Eagle is trying to sell you genes. So they're trying to tell you, hey, we have some great genes. But also, wow, Sydney Sweeney's pretty hot. Because she's won the gene pool lottery.
And there's a
Are-
reason none of the progressives they're showing are conventionally attractive. That's supposed to be the subliminal messaging. They don't have points, they're lying, they're just jealous and want to bring down someone pretty.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it was disgusting. I think it's just showing what kind of country we're turning into. Because it's white supremacy at the end of the day. That's what this ad is representing.
As I was collecting these clips and putting them together, I'm thinking,
Y'all are too easy with that word.
what is it about these people
Yeah.
that I think is
You got to remember, they do
so
have the
crazy?
ability to cut the footage however.
Oh
they
yeah, no,
please.
I already know that in the case of these sorts of things, any reasonable people that they do interview, they're not
Yeah, they're
showing
very
because that's the
obviously
point.
maliciously clipping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, whatever video she was using, any reasonable people, any
Mhm.
reasonable people that had reasonable opinions that weren't, oh my god, look at how crazy these people are, were not used. Immediately thrown
Which
away.
is to say, those clips are literally the worst takes she could find.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then yeah.
they're
And then
using
she
the
pro-
terminology slightly out of context, but it's close and you can tell that
Yeah.
it's close.
And then in this case, she then took the worser ones from that already very biased possible compilation. And then yeah. So a video of people interviewing people about the Sydney Sweeney thing, they probably cultivate the more nuttier takes. And then while she's making her video about how the left is angry at
And
white
if
ladies.
those are the worst she could find, yeah, they don't have anything.
Yeah,
Pretty
just two.
much.
Again, we don't have the original video, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the original video, there were some pretty shitty takes and there were some pretty boring takes.
I think I finally got it, and I think this goes for the rest of the clips that I'm going to show you in this video.
Sure.
I never feel this strongly about really anything, so it's hard for me to really
Sure.
understand someone seeing
I'm sure you don't
something.
have
You made a video about it, hon. You made
No,
a video.
she made the video for clout. She actually doesn't care. She doesn't have a personality.
I
or
don't
anything
normally
she
care about
truly
stuff
cares
like this. I just made a
in the
22-minute video about it.
That's every
They
grifter
don't
in general,
like.
to be fair.
Something that's actually reasonably innocuous, and then using their little monkey brain to land on the fact that it matters enough to sign into an app, record a video of themselves basically yelling into a camera, and then put it on the internet. What do you made an entire job out of doing that. I know, but the difference between me and those people is that I'm correct. But honestly, being correct about everything all the time it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot to handle. Kind of like finances and debt and mortgages, which is why today's video is
So today's video is sponsored by a scam. Okay, cool. Moving on. Today's video is sponsored by a scam for a product that I don't use.
Financing company? Oh god.
Oh, honey.
I
Why
thought
can't-
Raid was a scam.
Ain't nobody play Raid Shadow Legends, unironically.
That's like finding a bunch of cash in your couch cushions every room. So if you are ready to take back control, then call American Finance.
Take back control
You're
over your
literally
money.
a conservative commentator who is a known grifter safely packaging white supremacist rhetoric. That's what you do. You're defined by caring way too much about things that aren't happening.
But she's
You couldn't
right,
get a
man.
Chef's Play sponsorship like a normal person?
Now on 888-841-1390.
They don't want that association.
Don't call that number.
888-841-1390.
They're gonna add you to the spam
Or,
call
of
list.
course, click the link in the description or
No,
go
thank
to
you.
americanfinancing.net/Sydney. So
Nah.
obviously, as I explained in my first video about this issue,
Fall into the scam today.
which you should go and watch if you want the full context, I will link it in the description box.
Lynn telling it like it is. I will, however, say the big lady a bit ago was pretty by my standards. They weren't bad. Charlie Kirk does this all the time with ads for his
Also, Brill,
grassroots movements.
note I never said they weren't attractive. The point is that conservatives are supposed to think they're all ugly.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk does this all the time with ads for his grassroots movements. He loves debating people, cutting up the video to make them look dumb, and always gives them the definitive final point. Great humble brag about your privileged life. Raid has a great story. My brother in Christ. The game has like 2 hours of story, nothing else beyond some ads and miniseries.
Have to rehash old ground. This reaction has absolutely nothing to do with genes, and I'm not even really sure that it has to do with Nazism or some commentary on eugenics. I think that it relates to the fact that Sydney Sweeney fits a specific archetype. Young, white, attractive, blonde. Although blonde is secondary. And to these
That
white,
is why they
feminist,
chose her for
progressive
it.
types, it signals
There's
something
also
that they
why
absolutely hate. Privilege, pretty privilege, skinniness. What are some of the other things they hate? Traditional beauty standards, perceived exclusion, perceived inclusion of white
Always
people.
recognize
The
that
list
every
goes on
clip
and
a
on.
conservative
You'll hear for a while.
commentator shows you is literally the worst they could find, and they were actively looking for things to maliciously clip out of context too.
we had the likes of Doja Cat, which that's the name of an artist for those of you who don't listen to music.
So
that
if
makes
it's
your ears
just
bleed.
kind of cringe, they have nothing.
Well, hold on. What you said?
That's the name of an artist for those of
Doja?
you who don't listen to music that makes your ears bleed.
Don't act like you didn't bop it to say so. Do not lie. You bopped it to
Bitch
say
out here
so.
listening to the worst country music you've ever seen.
You are not gonna tell me you didn't bop it to say so and woman, like those songs did not fucking eat. Shut
She's a
up.
grifter. She can't listen to
She
songs
can't-
that have
She
music
can't imply
lyrics
that she
aren't
likes
English.
She can't. Oh god. She only listens to music that talks about trucks, beer, and going down the back road.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I'm sorry.
We had Doja Cat.
Also,
in
just
Sydney.
saying, check that pause frame.
Which one?
Flash houses.
Oh shit.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Then we had Lizzo trying to ride this situation and cash in on it, making her own videos wearing jeans and playing a song alongside these videos that references Sydney Sweeney in jeans. I'm not going to play it for you because, you know, the audio will 100% get copyright.
Thanks for helping my content ID.
Not today, Lizzo. Not today.
Honestly
These clips
rocks
are-
it, though.
They're really something. And I
Yeah.
want to show you, but I think I'm going to have to ask editing Sydney to put some Sydney singing with the clip so that I can. Firstly, Lizzo, I just want to say congratulations on losing weight before I mock this video because that's a pretty cool achievement for you.
Yeah, holy shit, she lost a lot of weight. Fuck. Girl, yes.
I'm jealous of the weird girl
Here, the funny thing is,
on the internet.
Lizzo's body here make her shorter, and you're not that far off from me. Except her legs are a little chunkier, cause like I have like very like firm drumsticks, but she still has like she's still bootylicious. But mira, she's not that far off. We're like sisters.
Who was in the jeans commercials, so I'm gonna ride on the
Also, my titties are
coattails.
fatter.
I like to make people's eyeballs in pain. Haha, yeah, this is so much fun. That's definitely a shot. Okay, I don't want to get banned on YouTube, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, no,
alright,
she's very
that's
bootylicious.
enough of that.
What was
So one of the
wrong
big
with that
ones
video?
Yeah, this sells. Girl, that's
I don't get
Firstly,
it.
Lizzo, I just want to say
The joke is
congratulations
that
on losing weight
she's
before I mock
unattractive
this video,
because she's
that's a pretty cool
overweight.
achievement for you. Yeah,
That's
I am
every
jealous of the
grifter's
weird
take on
girl
Lizzo.
on the internet who was in
It's
the
not a
jeans
joke,
Also,
it's
yet
just
again,
bad.
the entire argument here is that people are triggered about white people talking about jeans, while being triggered about black people doing the same thing.
to make people's eyeballs in pain. Haha, yeah, this is so much fun. That's definitely a shot. Okay, I don't want to get banned on YouTube.
Look, it's okay if you don't know how to do that and you want to learn how. You just ask.
Right?
Just ask.
Yeah.
You don't even have to ask somebody directly. You can ask YouTube, and then no one's gotta ever know because I'm gonna trust you right now. Ain't no white girl gonna teach you how to twerk
Okay. Alright, that's enough.
He's
accurately.
literally arguing Lizzo is so ugly looking at her hurts.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hon.
As
No.
if she doesn't make grips of money off of dancing.
Like,
come on.
The fact that she prefaces it with, Lizzo, congratulations on losing your weight, but also I still don't like looking at you. Oh no,
Yeah, right.
like, hun. Like,
that fake ass compliment.
yeah, no, I'm sorry, hun. I'm sorry. It's funny because she just went on a whole thing about like, it's so hard being so correct all the time. You're wrong here. Sorry.
She's been
Like,
wrong on most things she's
yeah.
said.
Enough of that. So one of the biggest things that I have taken from this situation is that it is, in fact, according to these people, not okay to be white. And any references
No one
to
ever
your
said that.
genetics or to your cultural history or anything like that
Yeah,
inherently
sure.
means that you hate non-white people and you wish for their extermination. Which is a lot of things, but mostly is totally batshit. Because I am not the walking embodiment of a lobotomy, I do believe that basically every group on the planet has experienced
Yeah,
discrimination.
that is
or
absolutely insane to think.
Nobody, yeah.
She
Why
just
do you
described
think it?
herself better than I could have. A walking lobotomy.
This discrimination.
That's pretty
because I
good.
think that despite how much modern society loves to tell us that we are not entitled to our prejudices and whatnot, people inherently have them.
I can't wait till someone like if it ever happens, if someone on the other side of this political spectrum is just like, well, you can't really commentate on her because you're a fucking VTuber, so you're probably a man behind the screen, I'll just say that my dick is still bigger than yours.
And there's really no getting around that. But as I have talked about in the past, being racist and horrific and horrible towards white people is a culturally accepted phenomenon. People don't lose jobs for...
Sure.
Uki Violetta still works at Niji Sanji and has not been fired. That is actually somewhat a correct statement. Somewhat correct. There are still people, as a person of color, who sees what how some people be acting online. It has, to an extent, not as harshly punished. Again, see Uki Violetta from Niji Sanji, who has several minutes long compilations of all the shit he says about white people and about how white people suck and how about white people this, white people that. That is, in and of itself, in a way, prejudiced. If you gave it benefit of the doubt, it's pretty damn prejudiced to say some of the things he's said. And at worst, if you really just want to completely look at it in totally complete bad faith, absolutely racism. There are some people, and we've made a joke here and there too. There are some people that are way too comfortable saying some of the shit they say about white people.
Sure.
And when it comes to the consequences of saying something racist towards minorities versus saying something racist towards white people, the punishment from one generally has been a much more harsher repercussion than the other one. If you're working in a professional environment and you say either one, you're going to HR. But you have people literally on social media that say you cannot be racist towards white people. And that in and of itself is racist.
It's not technically true.
Yeah, it's being racist is not a mutually exclusive thing. If you have anything negative to say and it's based on someone's skin color or where they are from, congratulations, you are racist.
Also, no, anti-white racism being acceptable is not socially permissible in the workplace. If you don't know, that's a complete lie, and citing workplace harassment is one of the big ways people fire minorities.
Yeah,
it's another one of those things where like power dynamics at play do matter, but it does still exist regardless.
Yeah, that's why I said in the workplace, like in a professional workplace with an HR department, saying either one will get you punished, and you'll be or you'll be at least seeing the HR office. But on social media, and again, I will point to Uki Violetta of Niji Sanji, you can get fired for saying, and honestly, again, another recent one with freaking Twisty Amanazako from Niji Sanji. She said some horrible fucking shit. Hello, Freck. And she said some really nasty shit about Indian people. And she also said some transphobic shit. She said some disgusting shit. And got fired for it. Good. Even though she was also apparently a victim of Astro Arcadia, who didn't even get fired. They just separated. But she said some really shitty things about Indian people, racist things about Indian people. And in the termination notice about Twisty, they cite that she has said some horrible shit about other races and marginalized communities.
Right.
Uki Violetta has said, again, there are compilations of that shit. He continues to say this shit on Twitter and on his streams about white people. And he is still working at Niji Sanji. So if saying racist things is like a terminable offense in this company, why is Uki still in Niji Sanji? The easy thing is because, again, in some spaces, there are people that genuinely hold this weird thing that you can't be racist towards white people. And he is also in freaking not Luxium. He's a Noctix, which is like the second male branch of like the second male wave after Luxem. And so he's one of the more popular like male VTubers. So it's kind of like how Aster was getting covered despite all his bullshit. It's probably also happening with Uki. But it's that thing of like let's be real. There are some people who are a bit too comfortable saying the shit they say about white people, and if we're gonna have a level playing field, you kind of have to look and acknowledge that and be like, yeah, that's not cool either. Like, you can say like a little harmless joke here or there, just like, you know, I make silly like little dumb jokes towards me and my own people and shit like that. We all kind of do it in one way, shape, or form. We're not gonna act like we don't. But you have to also recognize that people are way too comfortable being a certain way.
The intent behind
That's an
it is a huge
entertainment
aspect
industry
of it.
specific thing, since it's one of the more acceptable controversies to get attention.
It's that thing of like it's that thing of, again, if it's gonna be a racism versus racism sort of thing, it's either none of it's okay or there's a clear bias going on. And
also, you know who runs the overwhelming majority of all Western industry? Who has the power over hiring practices? White conservatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, yeah, it shouldn't be seen as okay on either side whenever it's serious, for sure. There
Mhm.
definitely is a bias, but there's numerous biases in play. Like, the more famous you are, the harder it is and less willing companies are to axe you, right?
Mm.
Like, there's a company that still picked up Kanye as a representative after he went on his off the
freaking
deep
crazy.
end.
Yeah, no, yeah.
After he like said that Hitler was right, like someone picked him up because he was worth money to them.
Yeah. Again, and that's why I'm thinking that's probably why, like, again, Uki, for example, is still in Niji Sanji and goes completely unpunished for the shit they said. It's
Totally.
like,
It's also that a lot of anti-white racism is just pointing out privilege.
Totally, that too.
not his comments. Not his comments.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to speak on there specifically because there's like, for instance, I make straights jokes occasionally, right? Because I'm definitely gay and sometimes it's funny, but there's other people who do it definitely not with the intent to be funny.
Yeah. Again, like I said before, everybody's made a little crack of the joke here and there. And like Lynn, I think, mentioned earlier, it's about intent. Or I think it was you who mentioned it's about intent. If you're just being a silly little jokester, tee-hee-hee, then, you know, no real harm, no real foul. But if, like, again, if you're, for example, saying some of the shit that Uki said, that's not cool. That's not cool. You were saying this with, like, animosity towards these people, or, like, disgust towards these people. And it's like, yeah, okay, they're kind of silly and whatever, in and of themselves. And I wouldn't really, like, I don't care enough to knock on anybody's doors and be like, excuse me, Niji Sanji, I think you should fire Uki Violetta. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't watch the dude. I don't watch Niji Sanji. Yeah. Like, I'm not even at the horse track, let alone having a horse in the race. Not even there.
Yeah.
But it's also that thing of, again.
But yet, the racism argument mostly comes up in that there are pretty severe contextual differences between anti-majority group and anti-oppressed group bigotry. Both are still bigotry, of course, but the measure of harm are quite different.
Yeah. It's another little deviation is kind of like in one of Lindsay Ellis's essays about she goes into a little bit about cultural appropriation, where she talks about why Pocahontas didn't work. Where, for example, Katy Perry, I think it was Katy Perry or Lady Gaga dancing around dressed as a Native American is seen as bad and offensive because of what happened with colonialism and the Native Indigenous Americans. That's considered bad. Whereas, for example, what Bollywood did, a Bollywood movie that is supposedly set in New York, was actually filmed in Toronto and is about a guy living in America, and look how wacky woohoo American they're being. That is also a form of cultural appropriation. But when we look at it from a historical sense, we look at, again, Lady Gaga dressed as an Indian and as a Native American, and it's like, that's bad because what colonialists did to Native Americans versus what did Indians do to the Westerns? Nothing. Nothing happened. Like, it's the I can't remember the exact wording she used, but it was like there was that form of the Bollywood movie set in quote unquote America was considered good cultural appropriation, while Lady Gaga dressed as a Native American was considered bad cultural appropriation because of who is doing it to what culture. But that in and of itself, cultural appropriation is a neutral term. It just means to take something from another culture and to use it. It all comes back to intent.
Yeah. So I'll actually add an addendum on the intent thing, because sometimes intent doesn't matter. Sometimes people do get hurt regardless of what your intent was. And you got to take a step back and be like, fuck, I accidentally just punched you in the face when I meant to punch next to you and you dodged into it, right? Like the joke failed and you got hurt. I have to stand back and own it that I fucked up.
And that's the thing.
That's an important thing.
And that's the thing too. And that's why also when it comes to jokes, when it comes to like when jokes end up hurting people, something that a lot of people say is, so how is that funny? A joke is supposed to be funny. What was funny about that? And again, if the punchline is somebody else, then yeah, it's not really a joke. If the punchline is, look at, like, again, let's go back to the forehead lady. So the punchline is that she got a big forehead. In this case, though, like, I'm gonna give this a pass because she is not in the room with us. If I was in the same room as her and I knew her, then I wouldn't want to make that joke because that's not nice. In this case, it's a video of somebody. I will never meet this person. I will never talk to this person. So then I make the tee-hee funny forehead joke. But, I'm not trying to bully her. I'm not trying to attack her. It's just silly hee-hee, tee-hee forehead joke. And yeah. But I don't know. The racism thing is really, really weird. And when I see this thing again, she to me, she slightly has a point in that it seems to be that the racism towards white people tends to get more of a pass than the other form of racism. It's all bad regardless. But there seems to be, at least in the most social sphere of things, like in social media and entertainment, it seems to get more of a pass than other forms of racism. And I personally don't think that's good either. So,
well, yes, it's also far more rare. So there's also that factor being at play, because they have to really pull to find examples of it.
Oh yeah, no, of course. I'm not gonna say that it's more prevalent. No, I'm just saying that it does in fact happen. And this is that sort of thing where, again, and maybe it's the fact that I'm a person of color and I am, not only am I engaged to a white person and I know his family, I also have a lot of you guys in my general circle. Most of you guys are white. And
never.
And it's that thing of and again, maybe it's just me as a person of color who has also in some way, shape, or form experienced some form of racism that my peers in some way, shape, or form didn't appreciate. For me, it's like, well, I wouldn't like it if somebody was being a white racism towards my friends. I wouldn't like that either. So that's also where I feel like, because I know that people like to throw a lot of things on white people where it's like, you got to be an ally to your people of color and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, correct. We got to do the same. We got to do the same. Like, just like...
Go ahead.
I'm mostly just saying, like, just like they're like people of color look at white people and be like, you need to have our back and you need to stand against racism and you need blah, blah, blah. Okay, can we do that for them too? If we're gonna tell them to scratch our back, can't we scratch theirs too? I feel like that's fair.
It's only fair. Like, I would like to bring up, I've had family members in recent years experience some discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
While going on vacation a few years back, my brother and my father were going into a Hardee's to try and, use the bathroom, maybe get something to bite to eat because we were traveling. And they were just straight up ignored. Just straight up ignored. Looked away from, completely just nothing. They didn't listen, they didn't do nothing, they just completely ignored my family. And it was pretty bullshit. They just lost out on customers that day. It's crazy. There are like 5 of us. Could made a good pretty penny. But
Why-
no. They just decided that, oh, they're white, we're just gonna ignore them.
Yeah. So that's that thing where, again, like, Wombo, we're not talking about Dr. Pepper. So if I hear you say Dr. Pepper one more time, you're getting timed out. Just cause. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, yeah. Now, again, I'm gonna believe Emerald for the most part. Awesome, Wombo. You win a free time.
I could do it.
Okay.
Welcome to jail.
Do you want to time them out or ban?
No, just a little timeout. Just a little timeout. We don't want to give them a big. We don't want to give them a slap. We just want to give them a little timeout. Just because they're being off topic and it's kind of low key spammy.
They want a tangent.
There you go. A little timeout.
Also, for a bit more history, this girl used to podcast with the Quartering on the program called Community Notes.
I don't know
She's
her.
anti-Me Too, anti-feminist, anti-trans, regularly sneaks in white supremacist talking points, and promotes the white genocide conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Not
Now,
a single one of those things surprised me.
I'm kind of not surprised, but at the same time, right now, at this very second, as I'm trying to not be that much that kind of person, for the sake of the conversation that we're having, I don't care what she's been in. Because
Fair enough.
right now, that's not relevant to this. I didn't know who the fuck she was, and it sucks that she was in those sorts of things. Not the point of the conversation. Why do I also say this? Because I know a lot of people, unfortunately, on the other side are going to be like, so you're going to look at her past and suddenly discredit everything she has to say and look at it in bad faith? Kind of, yeah. But also,
I mean, even if you disregard those points, so much of them bleed into this video already.
oh
We're only
yeah,
10 minutes
they
in.
they will bleed into this video, and again, it's something that I will have in the back of my head, but it's not going to be something that I immediately think of when I'm trying to discredit her points.
Totally.
Like, if I are just like, well, of course you'd say that, you fucking Nazi. Now I am no better than the very people that they are calling the fucking crazies. I become
It's
another
mostly context for the dog whistles.
yeah, I become another one of the people that they like to point at and be like, look at the crazy liberal progressive not wanting to hear what I have to say, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to know that. It's good to know that. Again, I did not know that about her. That is very interesting. I also don't know like half of the other things you mentioned. Like, I didn't know there was a podcast called The Quartering. Happens locally too. My father-in-law learned not to run on a certain local road when a resident told him, if my dog attacks you, I'm not stopping him. He didn't call that bluff. If any of my friends are being discriminated against, I ain't letting people just do that shit without some pushback. That sucks. Yeah, holy shit. And again,
I will say, in regards to like that, like that's a severe case. I'm not gonna act like it's not. In terms of any kind of racism I've experienced, it is nothing compared to the bigotry I've experienced as a queer person. So like that's why I am one to somewhat brush off anything unless it's extremely serious and egregious. Because I'm not gonna act like I know what it's like as a person of color to be discriminated on racism wise, but I understand queer bigotry quite well, and I know it's not the same, but it's got a lot of overlap.
It's got a bit of overlap, and it's got a couple things that are similar, but it's not exactly the same song. Because again, when it comes to race, like dealing with racist people, they don't even think about the fact of whether you're straight or queer. They literally look at you and already assume bad.
Totally.
So like
And
again,
it's one of those, it's just like the severity thing for me. It's like, well, it's like I understand how little that racism has affected my life compared to the other forms of bigotry, the
Mhm.
only other one that I really intersect with, right?
Mhm.
But I know that racism for people of color is up there with that, if
Yeah.
not higher in many cases. So I'm just like, it's both bad, but comparing it to like the racism from white to person of color is it's hard to compare as if they're the same
Mhm.
because the severity is so different.
It's that thing of now compared to back then, like the racism was so much more prevalent and people were a lot more violent towards it, or a lot more violent with their racism, whereas nowadays that very very similar thing is happening to LGBTQ plus community. Now essentially, I don't know where like the term came from, is that like the boogeyman back then, it was interracial marriage and the colored people getting into your spaces, and now it's the gay marriage and the gays are trying to get into your spaces and that sort of thing. So like again, the like the gay, the trans, the queer people, they are the new boogeyman that are going to steal your children and run off into the night. And it's just like, so that's I can also understand with that perspective why you're more like on the kind of brushing off that side, because again, you are someone that has dealt or seen a lot more of like you being trans, experiencing like so much worse.
Right. Experiencing the serious shit is the way that I could easily put it.
Yeah.
And while like race stuff isn't serious shit to me, it could very much be and would be very much be to other people who aren't me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the privilege is very real. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So it's that thing of like, again, I am with a man, so I don't have to worry about like queer problems. When it comes to like me being like demi arrow, like demi romantic, demi sexual, that's not something you see right away from looking at me. So like no one's gonna pick up on that, but people sure do see that I'm not Pantone white. So like if there's gonna be
And
something
yet,
I'm
we
experiencing,
haven't been saying she's conservative so you can safely ignore her. That would be naked tribalism. We're calling her out when she does incredibly bad faith things or makes arguments from absurdity, which are a lot of them.
Yeah, so far
like
she's been
how
making
many of the videos earlier never engage with the points. The entire argument is vaguely gesturing at how these people aren't conventionally attractive in the conservative paradigm. Picking apart the obvious manipulation tactics is valuable.
You know what I really freaking it kind of recalls me this there's that one TikTok person where all she does ever since the election, she's looked at conservative women's makeup and she's like, we're gonna recreate conservative women's styles because, and the joke is conservative women don't know how to do their fucking makeup because some of them really don't.
Yeah, a lot of church moms can't for shit.
And it's like, I wonder if she's done this chick, because all I'm gonna say is that poster of her from earlier.
Oh yeah, I've been not getting into the ad hominems here, but this girl's makeup sucks.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna I just to quickly go back to that poster. First off, we're at 11:23. Girl uses photoshopped, and you can't tell me you ain't. Uses photoshopped. Uses photoshopped. Anyhow.
Jobs for it, people don't get reprimanded really for it. It's kind of just a thing that happens that everybody accepts because it's been so normalized. So this entire situation is no exception, and pathetically, the Sydney Sweeney thing is not the only example of this taking place recently. Singer Billie Eilish also recently came under attack because at a show in Ireland in
I heard about this.
July, she said that she was from Ireland, like heritage-wise, and that it was cool to be in a place where everyone looks like her.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool to be here. I am not from here, obviously, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you.
Yep, that is it. That is the clip. That's what she said that made the internet really upset. She wants to be around her pale cousins.
She didn't say that she wants to be around them. What?
But these comments also
She also
made
didn't make
progressives
the comparison off being pale either. It's a heritage thing.
Billie Eilish saying she finally feels at home surrounded by people who look like her is weird. She didn't say that she feels at home. Why are y'all taking I like pancakes and turning it into I hate waffles?
TikTok absolutely lose their minds, and for similar reasons to the Sydney Sweeney situation. The left's hyper-focus.
Billie Eilish
I
grew
get
up in Los
roasting
Angeles.
her a little bit for it because it is kind of funny to point it out, but at the same time, that's not.
Getting angry at it is another thing.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think most of these people are actually angry. I think it's a lot of clout chasing.
Glad that crowd's reaction honestly annoys me. Well, how did the crowd didn't really seem to act any? They were just like, "Lol, she's Irish." Like,
yeah, that's just people being like, "Yay, one of us!
Yay,
one of our
us!"
famous
like,
people."
Billie
Like,
Eilish grew up in Los Angeles with high population of Hispanics and says she's happy to be around people that look like her in Ireland.
yeah, so what?
So here's
I think it would be cool to go to Norway at some point, like just be like, "Hey, this is where my people be from."
okay. Well, let me see what. Let me let her finish
Like,
this
look
point
into my
before I say what I
heritage
gotta
a little
say.
bit, you know?
Focus on
Yeah.
whiteness and beauty mirrors the Sydney Sweeney pile-on, and it's less about what she said and more about what she represents.
Billie Eilish, are you okay, bitch? Why the fuck would you say something like that? For one,
Why are you so upset?
you live in America where you are the majority. Everybody looks like you. What the fuck is this? Is what we mean when we say white people and they biases just be jumping out. Because what type of racist shit is that?
So I'm gonna once again flash my person of color card. I'm about to call somebody a fucking dumbass. Person of color card, remember that. Person of color card. Now that I'm putting that down. So it's okay for us to be like, we just want to see people that look like us. But they can't.
Context
Okay, so my
matters
initial assumption there
heavily.
is that he's being super over the top because you're not supposed to think he's being real.
I really hope that's the case.
He does sound more exasperated than actually upset.
I want to believe
which-
that. I'll believe that.
Which totally could be an act for the
Because
sake
ain't no
of
way people this upset.
internet.
And no way.
Because he doesn't look that upset to me. Like, yeah, there's the paused frame we're on, but he ain't tearing up or anything. You don't hear it in his voice.
He's overacting so hard.
Yeah.
The majority. Everybody looks like you. What the fuck is this? Is what we mean
Like
when
he's
we say
laughing.
white people and they biases just be jumping out. Because what type of racist shit is that?
Billie Eilish just had a concert in Ireland, and she said on stage, "It's cool to be in a place where everybody looks like me."
Oh,
Let's examine that claim. Do all these people look a lot like Billie Eilish?
Why are you taking what she said so fucking literally?
Other
Why'd you make
than
an Irish
maybe
bingo
being
card?
white?
The girl can't even talk about her own face without this apparently being a problem. In my opinion,
Lynn, please say something smart. Lynn, say something smart. Please, you're smarter than me. Say something smart. I can't. This is why. Yeah, people so fucking...
Mostly the reminder again that that's the worst she could find.
I know that that's the
Yeah,
worst she could
that's also
find.
true.
I know that that's the worst she can find. And that some of these people, like, somebody had to have paid y'all because ain't no way you care this much.
And she didn't even let several of them actually talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also TikTok. You
It's
gotta remember, these people are on TikTok.
So let's
I
look at
noticed
this.
the black woman had cuts in it too to stitch words together.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this from both possible angles. Let's take a look at the angle where these people are 100% super serious about what they said. They are genuinely upset that Billie Eilish said that she thinks it's pretty cool to be in Ireland around people that look like her. These people are
Sure.
genuinely mad. First off, why are you mad? 2, why is being around the familiar, which we have acknowledged through sociology and psychology that people are more comfortable when they are around the familiar, why is this bad? Why is it bad when she says it? But it's
So
okay.
the reason it would be bad in this case, and it's not necessarily bad, it's a red flag. Because red flags can sometimes not be real. Sometimes you're raising a flag because you've seen patterns in history and patterns in your life, and you're just holding it up because maybe something bad's about to come, right? Dog whistle shit. Like, it's there when it comes to white people saying that, often it's a dog whistle. So I see why people are getting a little cautious about it. At the same time, it's clearly, or at least it's seemingly, a cultural thing, because someone's going back to their
cultural
their fatherland, so to speak. I think
Yeah.
that's the way you say it.
Fatherland, motherland, going back to their roots.
It's right. It's one of those things where it's like they're visiting their ancestors' homeland, which is pretty fucking cool for most people. Not everyone gets to go back
Do
to the
that.
country where their great great grandpa was from.
Yeah.
But I do still see the red flag to a
Like,
degree,
okay,
and that's like
I'm going to be real. There are
the
absolutely people who fall into Poe's law of the internet and take something stupid like it's 100% serious. Also, the Billy situation was largely propagated by conservatives talking about how, quote unquote, you're not allowed to say that. Basically preempting a response to get people talking to clip later.
Okay.
It's another largely manufactured outcry.
Manufactured outrage. Okay.
Which is most of conservative grifting these days.
Yeah.
Because they're running out of things to be angry at.
Yeah. And then if we look at it from the angle of these are all just people fucking being silly, it's exactly that. You fell into the trap. You gave them views. People are going to look them up and give them more views. Good job, dumb bitch. Like, I don't know. I can see where the red flag is.
You'll actually find the majority of progressive drama starts from right-wing trolls baiting controversy.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's
not always.
I can see where some can see the red flag of like, again, why did you say that? And I guess how, people might have turned that in and of itself into a dog whistle, whether Billy meant it that way or not. And it was just poor wording.
Totally.
And again, I understand that on the other side of things with people of color, the reason that's normally said of people of color is because there is underrepresentation.
There are a lot of really terrible progressives, need to have that said. Being left-leaning does not mean you're actually a good person, and a lot of leftists are self-absorbed assholes.
Absolutely.
Totally.
It's that thing of it's that thing to not entirely go back into the white racism thing. It's that thing of, again, we as people, as a society, we like being around the familiar. Familiar is, what we grew up with, our communities.
Comforting.
It's comforting. I know that initially, again, when I first came to Canada, there are a lot of white people in Canada. And there was a little bit of that, that nervousness, at times feeling like might not be as secure because there's no one that looks like me. And I remember very early on seeing migrant workers and hearing them speak Spanish and be able to speak Spanish and feeling, like I exist. That I'm not this weird exotic thing, even though I'm fucking American. I'm a Latina. But you know, people see me and they know I speak Spanish and they automatically assume I'm not American. They assume I'm from another country, which again, not wrong, but also not that far. Like, I'm not from that far away. I'm not from South America. I'm literally just down the border. So, you know, people, there's this weird exoticness that people perceive of me. So when I see
Right.
the migrant workers come in, it's just like, oh yeah, no, like, you know, they're people like me. But I can also understand where, again,
And
hiya,
yeah,
good.
there's obviously no problem with someone from Ireland liking being around Irish people. Joe Biden did it too. There's also a massive difference between, oh, it's actually kind of amazing to be surrounded by my people right now, and the argument of absurdism that is, hey, I want an ethnostate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if someone took what Billie Eilish said and was like, she's propagating white supremacy, you're stupid. If you genuinely wholeheartedly mean what you just said unironically, you're stupid. If you saw what Billie Eilish said and says that she's propagating the idea of a white ethnostate, you're stupid. You're fucking stupid. Nobody
there's
said
a-
that.
There's an interesting thing when it comes to people because the internet's fried our brains to an extent, right?
Oh,
So
God, yes.
when it comes to the way our brains process red flags, not with everyone, it doesn't always attribute it to the same person. Like, someone could have seen like 15 or 100 red flags in a row because they're doom scrolling Twitter.
Yeah.
And because she was the straw on the camel's back or whatever, that's where they lost it. And they're like, oh my God, everything's horrible right now. And it's like, no, you need to touch grass, honey. This is the first thing she's done that's remotely a red flag in 3 months or however
Yeah.
long, right?
Like,
And it's
yeah.
an unfortunate thing that
White
internet doom
supremacists would hear
scrolling has
that
done
and
to
think,
us.
yeah, we should have an ethnostate. If you aren't poisoned by MAGA, it's just an Irish person saying Irish people are cool.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's anyone genuinely mad about what she said, which I'm sure there are some people on TikTok who are genuinely mad because it's TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't
I would
listen.
need to see a lot more.
We don't
before I
listen to those
start.
people. We don't listen to those people. We do not associate with those people.
You know, an issue is actually stupid when you find yourself agreeing with people that you would ordinarily completely disagree with.
Do you really think that Billie Eilish has had a pretty much perfect track record of being progressive since she was a child when she first became famous? Do you really think she's now like a racist white supremacist who's doing like eugenics dog whistle on stage in Ireland because she's Irish, of Irish descent, went to Ireland and said, oh, everyone looks like me? Do you really think that's racism? Or are you just bored and you're feeling helpless about all of the really big, scary things that are happening in the world and you don't feel like you can do anything about that? So you do feel like you can dogpile a young woman who was just excited to see that other people share her very Irish looking face. It's not just generic white. She plays at many majority white countries and nations, and she doesn't go around saying this every time she's there. She's specifically Irish. She was in Ireland and said, oh, everyone looks like me. It's a very specific aesthetic.
Like, why is Jamila Jamil the voice of reason here? Are you guys really that far gone? You know, she's probably right. These people are extremely bored, but I don't think that they're scared.
I actually don't even know who that was.
She is one of the leads on The Good Place.
No.
Which,
I don't know
if you
anything
don't know
about
that show, that is like
That tells me
one of
nothing.
Oh God. I can't think of the words for it. It's a really good show that has a lot of good philosophy and sociology and a whole bunch of stuff like that. I
That
can't
will-
give you details because the recommendation for the show is to just watch it. Because you don't want to spoil anything for it.
Girl,
It's
have you not
really
seen The Good Place? Do I look like I watch TV? In the many times that I've
She
said,
doesn't.
I have said on stream many times, I stopped watching TV upon entering high school. I do not watch TV.
Just here's the easiest sell that I could give to you. Tell Aaron that you haven't watched it yet. He'll sell it to you. He has brought, I think, like 20 people through that series over the course of, at minimum, like 7 watch throughs.
So yeah, no, I have not seen I have not seen The Good Place. I have not seen The Boys. I have not seen those shows. I don't know what people are talking about. So when people are like, "Oh, that's this person from that thing," who? Who? But okay. Yeah, she had a good point. It's Moral's Dilemma, the sitcom. Oh,
I
Sure,
think
that's
that
actually a
they
good way to
get
put it.
mad about stuff like this so that they can feel something. Jokes aside, once again, it's pretty clear to anybody.
Also, do
with
keep
a
in mind that there's a reason fascists and authoritarians try to manufacture outrage to get progressives picking up their narratives. The goal is to make minorities feel unsafe. If you can make them think Billie Eilish is secretly against you, you can make people feel unsafe whenever they come up. And make them distrustful of all potential allies. The most famous internet discourse version of this was the Hogwarts Legacy drama.
God, the Hogwarts Legacy drama. I don't want to talk about that. I fucking
Mouth
hate.
zipped on that one.
I fucking hate that shit. I hate everything about that situation. Everybody was stupid on both fucking sides. Everybody was stupid.
Way to go. We all fucked up.
Oh my god.
Woo.
Rolling is awful, that's a fact. But the entire point was turning Harry Potter into a hate symbol to keep trans people terrified.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Nope, yeah. Yeah, in a way, yeah. All I'm gonna say is that I'm sure Silverveil is a nice girl. And I don't think she deserved any of the bullshit that VShojo put her through.
Yeah, no one really deserves the bullshit.
But
Mhm.
But the company telling her that she was a disappointment and a damage to the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can't tell me, looking at the climate around that game, that that was a good idea and that that wasn't going to happen. I don't think they should have probably handled it like that. I can definitely give the idea that they handled it badly and that she didn't deserve that. But yeah, that would make you a brand risk because now everyone because everybody else got attacked and stuff too. But also she invented a slur. She invented a slur.
Holy crap. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Twitter freak is used a lot towards trans people, and that all stemmed from her.
Yeesh.
So whether you agree that she deserved any of that or not, and I will once again say she did not deserve any of that harassment. I am of the I'm of the party of, girl, you did not read the room and you really should have. She invented a slur. She is the origin of a slur.
Fun fact, you can literally trace that entire controversy to a single conservative troll on a sock puppet account who then signal boosted it through drama channels.
Mm-hmm. Why are you a girl? I am a girl because I have a vagina.
Because she is.
I am a girl because I have a vagina. And that's what the doctor said I was. So then I was like, cool, I do feel like a woman. Anyhow.
Billie Eilish's comments refer to her heritage and her ancestry, and the physical traits that come about as a result of that, namely being a pasty creature.
And the fake outrage would be, oh, so you're saying if you don't have one you're not a girl. Wow, Squeaky is anti-trans.
No, that's just her reason for why she is.
My reasoning for being a girl.
I know.
Yeah. I won exactly, Drill. I won the chromosome lottery.
You get the point.
I would agree with you on that. You did win it.
I won the chromosome lottery, and my body was like, girl, girl, girl. And that was it. You know, some people they only got 2/3 of the way there. Still women.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Trans rights. Anywho.
Wait, 2/3.
like mind, body, soul.
X and Y.
Oh.
Mind, body, soul.
Okay, I was like,
There you
there's
go.
only 2 chromosomes. How do you get 2/3? I was like, where'd the math go wrong?
Because a Y chromosome is actually half of an X chromosome.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
too.
good point.
But no, I was mostly meaning mind, body, soul.
I get it now.
Damn.
Oh wait, there's only 2 chromosomes.
My mistake.
Yeah, you have to ignore the other, like, what, 24, 22, however many there are.
Oh my god. Where are the
Every
speaker
time,
chats?
every time it mentions chromosomes, I think of Filthy
I
Frank.
assumed Squeaky was making a pointed science observation. That's
No.
on me.
I assumed
That's on me.
I assumed Squeaky was smart.
I assume that Kiki
Damn.
finally decided to rub something together for once.
No.
Hey, you made it to the right answer either way
Nope.
somehow.
See, I was trying I was trying to make like this beautiful analogy that is inclusive and acknowledges that, you know, the body that we are born with does not entirely define who we are as people.
Do you think that
And none of y'all fuckers
if-
got it.
Me and Lynn
No.
over here with textbooks, like, where'd
What does she mean by
I missed
that?
the page.
No, I'm sure it worked, but also, do you think if I put a stethoscope up to your head, I'll just hear like a balloon deflate?
For a minute, I was about to be like, you know, if you put a stethoscope up to my head, you're gonna see the little hamster going on its own. Like when but then I was like, wait a minute, you don't see through stethoscopes.
You're rattling of a loose plastic wheel.
Conrad.
Love you.
I love you too. Conrad, what's the format of the stream? The format right now is me currently, hi, I'm the VTuber, and these 3 chuckle fucks here are my friends.
Hi.
And we are
Hi.
we are just watching and reacting to this and kind of giving our own little commentary, so we're being those people. And and yeah, I just
To be
okay.
Beastie creatures. She didn't write a manifesto about how white is right. She made a comment in an effort to connect with her audience about something that has, up until very recently, been completely understood about people from this part of the world. You know, like freckles and red hair and pale skin. Likening this to white supremacy is a weak, sad attempt at making something out of absolutely nothing. But it's become so part of the progressive response to any reference to
I
being
agree.
white or European cultures that they'll take
So why are you
an
doing
innocuous
it?
comment and twist it to make it
Yeah, she's
racist
doing the dog
somehow.
whistle thing.
And the primary reason that we know that most of this is performative is because in 2023, Billie Eilish made the exact same comments, actually directly referred to being white, and nobody cared.
And it's, you know, it's so cool to be here because I'm Irish. Everybody here looks like me. Just really white. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so riddle me that one. Then we roll around to all.
Yeah, she
No.
stereotyped herself.
I
Big
love how she was like, nobody was
Don't
mad
know
about
why
that.
that was fine.
I love how she was like, nobody was mad about that the first time, and nobody was mad about it now. Like, nobody was
Thought it was
mad.
obviously a joke.
Right?
Nobody was mad. Nobody was mad about it then. Why was nobody mad about it then? Because nobody was. Just like nobody's mad about it now, girl.
Yeah,
Why
no
are
one
you?
gives a shit.
TikTok rush videos. which hopefully will make sense to Americans because I don't know what rushing is. Running around quickly on campus. The only frame of reference that I have for university in the United States is American films like Van Wilder and whatnot.
Like
That
super
feels
obviously she was calling them white to make fun of them all, because white people are insanely pasty and that's an amusing observation to be silly about it.
Every time I see these on Twitter,
Yes.
they always have a caption that's like, "We're so back," or "The left hates this." And, you know, while that's definitely a little bit cringe, there is a lot of truth to the freakouts these are causing over on TikTok. And I think that's because, once again, the majority of these videos feature white girls, many of whom are blonde, and seem to be conventionally attractive. Which, of course, is not allowed on the Perpetually Offended app in the year of our Lord 2025. So the comment sections on many of the videos that I looked at here have completely turned into war zones.
I think you've shown collectively like 6 videos.
And the comments are about what you'd expect. Why
Oh hey,
these
she's
sororities
arguing
are
about cancel culture.
so white. They
Sure.
lack diversity, not a single
So the
person
great
Which
thing
isn't a
about these
thing.
the great thing about these videos specifically is I think it was like 3 months ago that we were getting some of these. It may have been like a whole semester back. It may have been like 6 months back.
Mm-hmm.
Conservatives were losing their minds over women being ridiculous and stupid and just brain dead for doing this shit and not being beautiful anymore because of this
Also
shit.
she's arguing about how they're all white people while there's a black cheerleader literally on screen in it.
in sight.
Yeah,
I
there is.
want to on the screen.
Just
Like,
Listen
they
to word, not use
turned-
eye.
vicious,
They did a full
attacking
180
women
on
for
these
their looks or
videos
their
in the
perceived
span of a few
privilege.
months
And what's actually really interesting about this, I think, is that a
because
video
it
from
benefited them.
2023 has also been posted on TikTok, where a young man asked women in sororities about diversity, and a lot of them seemed afraid to answer. He then asked non-white people why they don't rush sororities, which I hope makes sense to Americans. This is a lot of weird terminology to me. And they basically said that they self-segregate.
We can't really help it if people of color or who aren't heteronormative don't rush, but we want to create like a safe space in case they do.
That led me to my next path, which was to ask people of color why they don't join the traditional frats and sororities.
Are you planning to join a sorority?
Oh no.
No? Why is that?
What made me very uncomfortable was how white it was. It felt like exclusive or like exclusionary.
I think the perception of Greek life as a whole, though, become a little bit more negative.
A lot of them didn't really put efforts into diversity, equity, inclusion until like BLM, and even so, those representatives were still not people of color.
But then, my favorite, they want to complain about.
It's also because sororities and frats are awful. Oh yeah, have you seen the fucking
sororities
hazing?
and frats
Yeah, they're
are
awful
known for
and
being the worst. And so you
Yeah.
already have the fact that you're getting the worst people represented to be housemates with. And now you have like the red flag of who's on like the familiarity thing that we talked about earlier. It's like how many allies do I have in this space among these horrible people, right? Because they're almost always full of horrible
Welcome to sociology. Yet
Yeah.
it doesn't
Spoiler.
matter that they want to be more inclusive. No one wants to be the one person of color.
You don't want to.
Everyone
You don't want to
wants
be the
a
token.
You know,
No.
and even if it's not a matter of being a token, it's like, how safe do you gonna feel being the first?
You know
Also,
what this kind of-
spoiler alert, you don't have friends in those.
Also, yeah, you don't. You're there to fill a quota because they need quotas. Also, I don't know why. It reminds me. I don't know if it. I'm a bit of a true crime nut, but this reminds me of that one case where it was a bunch of women having a sleepover, a bunch of adult women having a sleepover, and one of them was black.
Sure, if everyone joined it would be inclusive since there would probably be 10 or more, but also low-key sorority and frat culture is one of the actual cases of white culture.
They're also very toxic.
Yeah. And usually filled with a bunch of rich
Yeah.
kids who don't know how the world works and aren't going to need to learn how.
Yeah. So this case, I can't remember the exact names, but it was a bunch of women. I want to say maybe about 10. All of them had a sleepover at one of them at like one of them's house, and someone died.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one that died was a black woman. They found her in the backyard, and it seemed to imply that she was thrown off. Now, this doesn't have to
I
do
think
specific.
frat and sorority culture for basically everyone else is called having friends.
Yeah. When it comes to that whole situation, there are people that expect foul play. And unfortunately, I think it was ruled an accident. But it was that thing of, out of all of these women that were at this slumber party, no one knows how she ended up in the backyard dead. These women do not know. Nobody knows. I don't think they found drugs or alcohol in her system. They don't know anything. So they ruled it as like an accident.
Fuck.
I gotta look up the case.
It's not like a solo thing that's only ever happened once, too, because like that stuff does happen.
I'm
I
not
know
saying
happened
it's
to-
impossible none of them would know, but it's insanely unlikely.
Here we go.
It's
So
improbable, not impossible.
so the case of Tamla Horsford. So she was discovered dead in the backyard of the Georgia home that she had been attending a slumber party with other quote unquote football moms the night before. The 40-year-old was a mother of 5. Now, they say the outcome from the first investigation was ruled to be accidental, fall due to intoxication, odd circumstances. The second investigation, because they called the first one into question, ruled to be accidental fall due to intoxication. So she arrived at 10 o'clock.
Alcohol in their system.
Yeah, so she arrived at 10 p.m. November 3rd, 2018. Everybody drank, watched football, played Cards Against Humanity. There were some men in the house. According to witnesses, she got up at 2 a.m. to smoke a cigarette on the back porch. The next morning, the homeowner's aunt found her lying face down and motionless under the porch. So they found her the next morning dead.
Someone knew something if they knew that she got up at 2 a.m. to smoke.
Yeah. So then, the homeowners found her lying face down. Barrera, the homeowner's boyfriend, called 911. In the call, they described her as lying face down, not breathing. He brought attention to a small cut on her wrist, suggesting it may be self-inflicted. The woman's voice can also be heard on that call, speculating that Horsford might have been pushed from the balcony.
Trying to say no one heard her scream or the loud crash.
Yeah. So
it wouldn't necessarily be a loud crash depending on what she landed on. You might like if she landed on like a dirt backyard, you would only hear bones crack. Unfortunately,
Did that thing,
you hear the boom at least.
Does that article say under the porch?
No.
Well, I heard under the porch because I'm like, wait, under? What the fuck do you mean? How's that an
If you
accident?
Fall straight down off the porch, you could roll.
Fall
back.
through it, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say fall through.
So then there were some people seeing here, after fading from public eye, that her death became a topic of advocacy during, after the whole George Floyd thing. People brought more attention to it. The family attorney for the lady that died, claiming that teams investigating into the details strongly suggested homicide. It said in part, witness statements are in conflict. A potential subject handled the body as well as the evidence prior to law enforcement arriving. Evidence was disposed of and no inquiry followed. The scene was not preserved. He also stated that Horsford's injuries were quote-unquote consistent with those of a physical struggle, but that the absence of photos from the initial autopsy prevented a definite conclusion. And yeah, so essentially people called some things into question. People wondered if it was possible that if not the ladies, because 3 of their husbands were there, there were 3 men also in the house, that there might have been something fishy happening. And of course, unfortunately, with how long ago this case was and how things were handled, we will never know what happened on that night. Did she accidentally fall, and was it really just a horrific accident? Was there foul play involved? It's that thing of, it's so hard to say because so many people focused on the fact of, well, why is it out of all these women and 3 men, why is it the black person that died? And
yeah, statistics blind us sometimes.
yeah,
Because
and
it could have mattered, and it really feels like it does because of the statistic.
Mhm.
She's 1 in like 12 people there under
Yeah.
that specific category.
yeah, and
But
it's
there
that
could be other things. that
yeah,
matter
it could have
more.
also just been a horrible accident that unfortunately
Yeah.
in the panic of everything, and it's happened
She could have
before.
sleepwalked or tripped when she was smoking on the patio.
Yeah.
Or someone could have done it intentionally, because we've seen that happen a number
Yeah.
of times at events like this with numerous
Yeah,
minority
it's-
groups, especially the mentally disabled.
It's that thing too where like when it comes to god, I had it in my head. When it comes to the fuck. It was on I had the train of thought. No, I don't know what the train of thought was anymore.
Really, the main reason I suspect foul play or at least gross negligence is that there are no witnesses.
Oh, now I remember. Yeah. Well, here we go. Again, the only witnesses we have are the ones saying that she got up at 2 a.m. to smoke. And it's like, okay, and then what? That's where it kind of, I guess it seems to stop. Now I remember the train of thought. It could have been a horrific accident that upon the next morning, people seeing what happened, and it's happened before in the past where people panic and the crime scene gets tampered with or evidence gets
Yeah.
destroyed, and now there's no way to get a reliable concrete story because people fucked with shit.
There's also just cops that are bad at being detectives.
Yeah, there's also shit like that where again some police departments are just not well equipped, or the people
and
are
it do be Georgia.
are not into that. Again, we will unfortunately never know what happened in that house. Some people are saying nope, it seems like it was
It's
accidental.
also super common for gated communities to cover up crimes.
Yep. Well, I don't know if the house was in a gated community. Again, like unless I'm reading an article with every single fact, anything else we've got to
Right.
say is assumption. Because at the end of the day, they seem to have done 2 investigations. There has been some sparked interest, but again, what new is going to come from it that we don't already have?
Quarterbacking.
Like when it comes to the body, it's probably already been buried or already been cremated. So we can't do a 3rd autopsy. And the people who've already said what they said are either going to say it again or maybe slip up and we can find inconsistencies in their story. But we don't know.
Don't have a horse in this race, but I get why people find it suspicious even if it doesn't matter anymore in a practical sense.
Again, I think there's definitely something suspicious about it, but at the same time, unfortunately, there's also the possible bitter pill of it could have just been a fucking accident.
Yeah.
It could have just been a really shitty accident in a situation that has a lot of weird circumstances. Again, the only black person in this whole house house full of about 12 people, they're the ones that fall off the porch and die. Like, that's fucking weird. Because we're also really quick to assume that there was something bad that happened.
And
'Cause
no
again,
damage to the railing.
it doesn't say that in the Wikipedia article that I read, Lynn. No, it didn't say anything in the Wikipedia article. If you wanna, so if you wanna look into it, Lynn, it's Tamla Horsford. So Tamla Horsford. So if you want to look more into it, there's also a lot of video essays about this. That I don't know. And the reason I sometimes don't look super into this sort of stuff is because I don't need to see crime scene photos. So I don't wanna accidentally see shit I don't wanna fucking see.
It's a sad situation, no matter how you cut it.
And it's that thing of, again, even if we have the answer right now or the possible proof, unfortunately, it's already been ruled and shut that it was an accident. We'll unfortunately never know. Unless there's something so big that they have to reopen the case, there is nothing that can be done. And again, that's still what's
someone to come forward saying they're guilty, basically.
yeah, someone has to come forward, and there has to be, again, it has to be a really good testimony, or it has to be some pretty damning proof.
At the stroke of midnight, when the statute of limitations ends, one person will come up with video footage of them collectively yeeting her off the balcony.
Yeah, because again, we like, if they were all drinking and being silly, then yeah, it's possible that while she was still drunk or really hungover, she went to have a cigarette, and maybe she did accidentally just whoopsie off the porch. Maybe someone did push her. We don't know. And again, if there's any damage to the railings, there are two things that could cause said damage to the railing. It could be someone pushing her and the signs of her like struggling to stay on the railing, or she fell. She slid off of them, where if she was trying to hold on and yell for help and no one heard her, that same damage would be there. So damage to the railings, you still have 2 to 3 possibilities of what could have caused it, and none of them are definitive. Now, the fact that they say that there were some signs of a struggle on her, that can be pretty damning, because what was she struggling from? What caused her to struggle? Does she have any bruising on her that is associated with a struggle? Does she have like bruising on her arms, like when you go into the boxer position and try to defend yourself? Does she have skin under her fingernails from scratching and clawing at her attacker? As far as I know, that stuff wasn't checked or put down in an article, but if there was something like that, then you damn know that they would have looked into it. Unless, again, shoddy investigation. I may not know I may not know many things, but I do know that there's some pretty damning, there are some pretty creative ways to get some damning evidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if anybody ever tries to attack me and kill me, I am scratching the ever-loving fuck out of them before I get fucking killed for sure. They're gonna have, their biddies are gonna be under these fucking nails. Check my fucking nails. Get as much DNA before you fucking croak.
Always have at least one acrylic that's sharp as shit.
Yep.
Get blood.
Bite, claw, pull.
Rip and tear.
Yeah, fight. Just fight, because even if you don't make it, there's gonna be something on you, and that can be the difference between your killer going free and them getting caught. Anything. Again, blood, skin, hair, anything.
About how sororities are not diverse enough. It's like, pick a lane. Just pick a struggle. Anyway, so because I
That's
like
what
to
we're telling
ask
you,
questions,
lady.
here is my primary one about all of this. Why is it socially acceptable to dunk on the attractive white women in these situations? Sydney Sweeney, Billie Eilish, these sorority girls, with zero pushback. Why does appreciating European culture, or God forbid, liking how you
There's
look
another dog
as
whistle.
a white person and a
Yeah,
white woman
okay.
feel like some sort
I'm kind of dumb to
culture
that stuff,
doesn't
but
exist.
There's a
European.
double standard here, and it's glaring.
Well,
Sydney.
Well, here's the thing.
There are
White
specific cultures that exist within Europe. European culture does not.
Yeah, European culture is because it's that thing of like, for example, like some people say white culture doesn't exist.
Yes.
And
Like,
then
you can
yeah,
be Spanish, German, Czech,
Mhm.
Scandinavian, Irish. There's so many.
to say
But to
yeah, to say European culture is to put all the different European countries under one blanket and say they're the same, when the only thing that they have in common is that most of them are white.
and they're like cutting the Eastern Europeans out of that
Yeah,
too, because they're
and-
like, nah, Turks don't count. These people don't count.
And again, it's funny to consider that, because most European people would not like to be called European culture. They'd be like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
I'm
Italian.
sure.
It's Italian culture. No, I'm German. It's German culture. No, I'm Portuguese. It's Portuguese culture. Like, European culture does not exist. Yeah, no, that's holy shit. I'm pretty dumb to these sorts of things. That is a dog whistle.
Yep.
Sweeney's
That's a
Jim's ad
megaphone.
dropped, it wasn't criticized,
this
it was
point.
vilified as eugenics and white supremacy. Lizzo and Doja Cat jumped in, mocking it with memes and raps, and the left cheered. Billie Eilish mentions going to Ireland and looking like the folks in Ireland, cancelled for white supremacy.
No, she wasn't.
Sorority girls post cute dancing rush videos. They're promoting white supremacy. They're
No
not
one cared.
diverse enough.
There's
But
a
if we
black
had
person
black
there!
girls promoting white supremacy.
They're right there!
That's the point of why she chose that one, because she's pointing out the hysteria of it being called white supremacy. So that's why she chose the
Okay.
video with the black
They're
lady
not
up front.
diverse enough. But if we
She's
had
trying to make it
black
more
or Hispanic
hysterical than
or
it
Asian
Okay.
people
is.
celebrating their appearances and their cultures, would the internet have lost its mind? Probably not. And that's really the problem. The left has become so comfortable hating on white people, and more specifically white women in this case, because they view it as punching up. White beauty
Sure.
standards, European heritage, all of this
Dog
has
whistle.
been designated as privileged and oppressive, and therefore tearing it down feels very righteous. And obviously, it doesn't help that advertising and media spaces are moving away from the ugliness that we've grown so accustomed to over the years. So seeing cute white women basically doing anything
That's
positive
also a huge red flag.
absolutely breaks some of these progressives. And the thing that I personally find so ironic is that many of the people lobbing the most amount of criticism are these liberal white women who love to do this to signal that they're one of the good ones. And as you guys know by now, I find white guilt extremely embarrassing. And I also find it really embarrassing that we're at this point socially. So in the end, and to leave this on a bit of a positive note, the more that these progressives lose their minds and freak out and behave psychotically towards these issues, the more attention they are giving to the women that they're directing all of their ire at. But because every day is Groundhog Day, this is obviously not the last major freakout we are going to see about this kind of an issue towards these kind of women by these kind of people. Now, on that very happy and pleasant note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out American Finance.
No, I don't wanna. Okay.
Don't.
Yeah, so again, maybe it's because I'm not so terminally online and I have a job and I get dick regularly. That maybe I'm not, maybe I'm just not mad about these things and don't
I
understand.
am terminally online. I'm also not mad, and I've seen very few people that aren't conservative be mad about these things.
Like, when she's like, people mad at Rush videos and people mad at Billie Eilish, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I'm gonna press X to doubt. Chat, press X if you doubt. Because I kind of doubt. No, I don't think people are. I don't think so. I don't think it's completely broken the left either. Again, now if you think that the left is a bunch of angry high schoolers and college greenhorns, and you think they are the left, and they're the ones that are like screaming into their phones and crying, again, I need you to really look at that.
I need you to touch grass for a little bit.
Well, it's more so just like, okay, so there's this thing that I know for some people can be really hard, called the suspension of disbelief, and thinking critically. And sometimes you have to look at something and be like, now is there a possibility, because again, when it comes to especially platforms like TikTok, first and foremost, it is about the views. It is about the views, it is about the likes, it's about the engageability.
100%.
So you have to look at someone getting angry about something on TikTok, and you have to recognize. Unfortunately, that also means you might have to look at some of their other content, which means also engaging with their other content. is this something that they normally get mad about? Is it possible that they are taking what could be a genuine emotion and playing it up for the sake of the video? Because again, if I just sat here and I was like, Billie Eilish talking about how she feels comfortable in Ireland, I just think that it, propagates her feelings about how she thinks a white ethno state is good, actually. And I think it propagates white supremacy. People are probably just gonna scroll over that video before I get my entire point across. But if I'm completely red in the face and I'm screaming and crying, maybe even showing a clip and being like, oh my god, Billie Eilish is racist now. Like,
leave Britney alone.
Leave Billie alone. Like, people are gonna watch. People are gonna watch. People are gonna spread it. People are gonna talk about it. People are gonna comment on it. But does that mean exactly 1-to-1 that was who I was? No. It's called a caricature. When people are on the internet, most of the time we create a caricature of ourselves and present it to the media. And Sydney, your caricature is a dumbass. your caricature is a bit of a dumbass that takes things way too seriously. And again, if we go by what Lynn said, where you definitely combed through TikTok and Twitter and things with a fine-tooth comb, and that was honestly the worst that you could find, I don't believe you.
I'll also say this. A lot of the people who are most likely to get upset of this that aren't hyper-conservative aren't the people who are the furthest left.
Yeah.
They're the people, like, right there in the middle.
Like,
because there are people who are super
they
far
always
left
do. If they could
who-
find worse, they'd be using it.
Oh, absolutely.
Finding bad faith clips to spread around is literally their
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. It's that thing too. I thought white guilt was normal. I have privileges through nothing I actually did that I get when someone sees me. That's real and that's worth processing and discussing.
That's not guilt.
A lot of these conservative talking heads
That's a
sure do
different
love to make us think about anything that makes quote unquote the left look bad. Conservatives also have a crap ton of people getting pissy online. I'll also admit the more left-leaning folks can also do this, but we might as well acknowledge that getting pissy is just a thing humans do. Yeah, because here's the thing. Again, now here's the thing. Now, as someone who is, I consider myself generally like moderate, more left-leaning, because I'm mostly of the opinion that people need to just stop being stupid, and that people just need to like con their titties and just like really look at what's going on for a moment and then like process and make an opinion. If people like this are genuinely like there, we as something that is resembling a self-regulating like system and community, we need to look at those people and be like, okay, so like, why are you genuinely mad at this? Because these unfortunately are going to be the people that make the rest of us look bad. These are the people that unfortunately are going to be the ones that are going to be the reasons why no one takes like what we have to say seriously. They're going to be the ones that represent they're going to be the ones that people like Sydney Watson use to represent the left or the progressives or even the moderate leaning. Like, they're going to use those people and lump them in with me when for a good chunk of their opinions I don't entirely agree. So I'm not saying we should call those people bad and ostracize them, no, but we need to have a discussion with them as to why they think so extremely. And like, because again, when it comes to,
it's not even extremely as much as black and white. It's a lack of
nuance,
lack of context, nuance, detail, and lack of in-depth thought. Because I am extremely far left-leaning, and nuance is important.
Yeah, like again, for example, we hear a lot about the stereotype where it's like blue hair, nose ring, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, so first off, I don't see why blue hair and nose ring needs to be what we use to discredit their opinion. Can we let them talk first?
Have you not seen my avatar, Squeaky? It's obvious you shouldn't listen to me.
Like, no, I like listening to you. Like,
Okay.
but it's
So, is it fun? I'm gonna go slither away now.
yeah, no, slither away.
Have a good night, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this was an interesting video, is what I'll say. I don't think I heard enough about the Sydney Sweeney video, Sydney Sweeney, and I heard that there were some people that were angry at it, but then as like the actual news started picking it up, I kept seeing the same videos. And when I see the same videos used over and over and over and over again, I start wondering if it's a group of people being loud or just one very loud person.
Yeah.
And most of the time it is just one very loud person. So when it comes to this outrage over the Sydney Sweeney thing, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. When it comes to the outrage,
there was a lot of outrage around the ad. None of the outrage was, or very minimal amount of the outrage was aimed at her. It was mostly aimed at American Eagle and the fact that they had the gall to pull that shit.
Yeah.
And that's the important fact, because it's one of those things where it's like, y'all got comfortable and that ain't okay.
Yeah, I mean, even if American Eagle was alluding to eugenics, it wasn't her fault, it was their commercial. Exactly. Yeah. And in this case, it's like, yeah, we should kind of, again, hold certain corporations responsible for certain things that they are trying to propagate. You know, was someone at the office thinking, let's do an undercover eugenics? Maybe, maybe not. I wasn't at that board meeting. I will never know. Maybe it could have been as simple as someone thought, hee hee, get it? Because she's wearing jeans and she's hot. Hee hee. You know, it could literally have been as simple and innocent as that, or it could have been someone doing a white supremacy. I don't know. And I don't think I care, because I don't buy American Eagle. I don't wear jeans. I don't plan on wearing jeans. Jeans suck. And American Eagle has shitty jeans.
So I do care for the sole reason of people's comfortability with being openly bigoted, more and more so as it has been for the last number of years. So that it's not a Karen that I'm like deeply fucking scared about it, or that I'm pissed off. It's I'm worried, and something's gotta happen at some point if it's gonna continue this way.
Yeah. I guess to better word it, outrage or no outrage, I'm not losing any sleep over American Eagle.
Yeah.
I'm not losing any sleep.
Yeah, I'm not losing sleep over it yet.
And neither should you, chat. Just don't buy their jeans. At the end of the day, what's really gonna hit American Eagle is when they see that their sales go down, and apparently that was the case. So there you go. Will they do that?
Boycotting works.
Will they do that? Will they do that again? They'll look at the numbers of the last time they did something like that, and probably they won't. I think Calvin Klein a long time ago did something like that, but I don't remember.
Calvin Klein's used hot people to advertise since the beginning of time.
It's the thing of every fashion brand uses hot people. Like,
totally, and it's also a matter of, again, with it's the 100th red flag this week or the 100th red flag today. So if it happened, let's say in 2012 or 2013, when the waters weren't boiling hot, it's a red flag you plant in the ground. Now there's so many red flags in the front lawn that the only people who don't notice them have color blindness, and everyone else is fucking scared.
Yeah. But yeah. Alrighty. Well, that was Sydney Watson.